After you've pinned along the side of your pillowcase and the bottom, you're going to be sewing. You're going to line up your fabric with the 4/8 line just like you did before. But this time you want your thread to match the body of your pillowcase, or the main part of your pillowcase. So because the main part of my pillowcase is white, I will be using white thread. So I'm going to line up. So I'm going to be sewing at the 4/8 line for my 1/2 inch seam allowance. I'm going to put my presser foot down, and I want to make sure to start right up at the top edge of my pillowcase here. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to backstitch, so I'll hold my reverse and go back to the beginning, and then I'm going to go forwards again. Okay, I'm going to stop when I get to a pin and take it out, and I'm going to be watching right here to make sure that I'm staying 1/2 inch away from the edge, keeping the fabric straight the whole time I'm sewing. Okay. And then I'll stop and pull out a pin when I get to it, and then I'll keep going. Alright, when I get towards the bottom, I'm going to slow down because I'm going to be pivoting around the corner here. So I'm going to go slow and take out my pin. I'm going to keep going. And then when I get close to the edge, I'm going to stop, and I'm going to turn my hand wheel to make it so that the needle is going to stop, so it's going to be down in my fabric. So my needle is down, and right now my fabric's lined up with the 4/8 line. I'm going to lift up my presser foot. I'm going to turn my fabric. When I put the presser foot back down, I'm going to check to make sure my fabric is still at the 4/8 line. Right now it's at the 5/8 line, which means I need to go a little bit farther. So I'm going to put my fabric back where it was. Okay, and I'm going to go one more stitch. So I'm just going to turn my hand wheel towards me to go another stitch, so that way I can check to see if I'm far enough over now. Okay, I'm going to put it down now, and now my fabric is right next to the 4/8 line, so now I'm going to be ready to go. So now I'm going to be lined up again, and I'm going to keep sewing straight. Okay, I'm going to slow down at the end, so I make sure I'm going to go all the way to the edge of my fabric, hold my reverse so I can backstitch, go back to the end, and then I can lift up my presser foot and take it out. And I'll cut my threads at the end, and I'll go back to where I started sewing, and I'll cut my threads up here too. So when you're done with this step, you'll have one stitching line that's 1/2 inch away from the edge. It goes all the way down, turns the corner at the bottom, and finishes out on the other side.